morning, my children. In the wake of DC's Rebirth initiative, a group of Batman supporting characters got to team up and fight evil together, including the reformed villain Clayface. But what is this Clayface's origin? Well, it's pretty horrifying if I do say so myself.
Meet Basil Carlo, at least how he is as a child. His father is an actor, Vincent Carlo, famous for his various monster roles he's taken on. The child is fascinated by all the monster masks his father has, although he also shows him Renew, an industrial chemical that can reshape any material like clay, which he can in turn use to mold his face into anything he may want. Which apparently includes the Joker, I guess. But in any event, his poor father also says that his son shouldn't get into the monster movies. The monsters exist to show the audience what they're supposed to recoil from. Ugliness, monstrousness, and there's a monster in all of us that must be hidden away from everyone. Because while people might pretend at the movies, nobody really loves a monster.
Which is silly, of course, my children. You're all here because you do love monsters.
20 years later, Basil is a movie star. One who wants into a film called Second Skin. His agent disagrees, wanting to get him away from horror parts, but this one speaks to him so much. It's about a silent movie monster actor who kills the cast of the talkie remake when they don't put him in the part.
So already it sounds like an amazing film and that agent is an idiot.
For Basil, though, it's personal. He wants to show his aged father, you can show the world that dark, sad part of yourself and still be loved for it. It's a role that can let people see the real him. And indeed, he gets the part. But while driving, he gets the terrible news that his father was found dead in his apartment. And it doesn't get any better when that news gets him into a car accident. He survives, but his face and skin are horribly disfigured by the accident. He screams that this isn't the real him, but there's not much that can be done. This is after skin grafts have been done, and the agent says nobody's going to pay money to see his current look on the big screen, so he's out of the picture.
Although frankly, I don't know what the hell he's talking about. I think he looks so much better that way.
Later, while clearing out his father's apartment, he finds his old supply of Renew, and he uses it to correct his skin. But of course, it's only a temporary fix. He fires Cal, his agent, for spreading rumors that he was disfigured, and drives away his loving girlfriend to try to keep the secret. However, he finds out that he's not going to have enough Renew to get through the production, and contacts Daggett Chemical, the manufacturers, to get more. But the product is no longer made. It was banned when they learned that it would melt the hands of anyone who worked with it. Basil breaks into old Daggett chemical warehouses to obtain the stuff, but is soon confronted by Batman, tipped off about the break-ins. Batman tries to put him down, but instead punches his face in, to his shock and surprise. In the hospital, it's already been revealed to the press who he is, and that he became a clay-faced crook, to the anger of Second Skin's director Veronica St. Clair. She says he was hired for the part for his eyes, the dark sadness and agony he held in them. She didn't care about the injuries he had sustained. She would have fought tooth and nail to keep him in the picture, to truly show the world what he really was. Although, as she notes with the facsimile of a face, he has truly proven that he has shown what he is. A fake who only cared about what the world thought he should be. Batman shows up, offering him a choice that might turn his life around, but Basil blames Batman for this, that his interference caused people to see him as a monster. And nobody loves a monster. Batman, though, says he's not a monster, just a man afraid of what his life might become, and is lashing out. He wants Carlo to testify against Daggett, since he's been illegally experimenting on Renew for decades and destroyed countless lives in his attempts to keep it on the market. And so he has a choice to make. He can just be what the world sees when they look at his face, a monster, Or he can be the real person under those looks.
And well, considering what show you're watching, my children, it shouldn't surprise you to learn he chooses the monster.
He tries to steal the supply of Renu that the district attorney has stashed away as evidence, but some corrupt cops attempt to shoot him to keep him quiet for Daggett, instead hitting the Renu supply and spilling it all over him. Oh, and one other thing that Batman mentioned that Renu does, it screws up the brain a bit, making someone more aggressive and unbalanced, which of course both Batman and the people filming Second Skin discover as Basil Carlo arrives, now as Clayface. His poor girlfriend tries to calm him down, but in his deranged state, he decides to show her that there's a monster in everybody by pouring a jar of Renu on her. What becomes of that? Well, that's a story with even more victims in it.
This version of Clayface is a tragedy of terror, my children. Terror of what people might see if you let them see the real you. Terror of losing what you have. Perhaps people should just learn it's okay to feel terror, and they'll learn to love a monster.
Now, listen, Princess, I can't sell you books like these. They're just a little too scary for a little girl like you.
I want these books!